Hello and welcome along to another episode of Robin and Jane in the Stalls. This week we're getting all nostalgia. We're taking you back to the 1980s, 1982 to be precise, and we're off to Spain this week for a comedy that's currently touring all around the place. It's by Rosemary Drama Group and it's written by Rick Hewitt. It's called Holiday Flush, and we were there on Friday night at the fabulous Sanctuary Theatre in East Belfast. But what did we make of Holiday Flush, Jane?
Well, it reminded us of Duty Free, that wonderful 80s sitcom, actually. If you transplant a whole load of Brits abroad and they get sunburnt, you get sun, sea, sangria, and you probably also get Benidorm belly, actually, if you're unlucky. And one of the characters certainly did, poor Alan, Brian Hazlitt. You get people behaving badly, and that's always good fun. And that was really what we had here. We had two families on their holes, on their jollies, enjoying happy hour, which of course lasted for 2 hours at least. And I think my favourite character was really Julie Francis, played by Nicole Stewart. She flirted outrageously with anything that moved, but mainly with Sergio, the Spanish waiter. And we have to have a Spanish waiter, of course. He wasn't quite up to the standard of Manuel, but still. And she did it very well. I'm not sure I was quite so convinced by her return to her husband, who was named, of course, Willie, as you would expect. There was a seaside postcard aspect to all of this, but I enjoyed lots of it. I mean, Amdram, and this is an amateur cast with aspirations, can be hamdram, but I think they showed some real enthusiasm here and got quite a lot of the funny messages across. What do you think?
They really did. I mean, there was some laugh out loud moments, and it's very much in the style here in Northern Ireland. We're used to the Sam Cree plays, and this is very much in the same style as that as well. Wasn't as fast moving as maybe the Brian Ricks or the Ray Cooney farces were, but as you mentioned earlier, it did remind me of that classic 80s TV series Duty Free with Gwen Taylor, Keith Barron, and do you remember Joanna Van Gishigum?
Oh, I do. The glamorous one. You would remember her.
There was always a thing whether her and Keith Barron would actually get it on, wasn't there?
They did it terribly well. Yes, they did.
But of course, it is a nostalgia trip from start to finish. The minute you walk in to the auditorium, you're hit with 80s classics like Club Tropicana and Madonna's Holiday and stuff like that.
Yes, you were. And that certainly got you in the mood if the glass of vino from the bar hadn't, and it probably had. I think it was a good fun evening, definitely, and something that people should go to if they want to be reminded of the lighter side, perhaps, of the 80s, yes.
And of course, talking about 80s nostalgia here in Northern Ireland as well, of course, it's set in the year 1982, which all Northern Ireland football fans will remember. Of course, it's that time when Jerry Armstrong scored the goal for the World Cup and hasn't shut up about it since, really.
Yes, no, you're quite right, and deservedly, it has to be said, absolutely deservedly. I liked Alan McGee, Brian Hazlitt, supporting them so vociferously. That was good fun, and nearly not getting to the match. You know, the drama, will they, won't they get there to support their team? But of course they did. And I am the spoiler alert, but there we are.
Another bit of trivia for you, Jane. 1982, at that World Cup, did you know the Northern Ireland squad made a World Cup record that year and released it?
No, I didn't know that at all, really.
Northern Ireland fans should know this, but they teamed up with Dana and they recorded a song called Your Man.
My goodness, no, I didn't. Is it any good?
Well, Jane, I'll let you decide. Here's a little clip of the Northern Ireland football squad and Dana with their big World Cup song. So there we go, Jane. A little clip. You missed that. Dana and the World Cup squad, Jerry Armstrong and everybody singing on that.
Brilliant. No, absolutely brilliant. I think that's what we need. We need a bit of that now, don't we? Let's face it. And that's what we need. We need a bit of escapism. And I guess this is above all a certain amount of escapism from the trials and tribulations of our current period.
Well, exactly. For me, who hasn't been on a summer holiday this year, it was the best thing I'm going to get, really. And I must mention the set, because the apartment looked just like a Spanish apartment. So well done to the set builders and the set designers.
With a sort of very Picasso-esque painting in the middle and sombreros left and right. Yes, it did. I must mention one other character that I quite liked. I wasn't totally convinced by the English snooty couple. There's always a snooty and a less snooty couple in these circumstances, because you always need a bit of class war, don't you? But I did actually quite like Ian McDonald as Mr. Gammon, and they would have been called Gammon, wouldn't they?
Mr.
He had
Gammon
a sort
was
of
good,
genial, where am I feeling about him that worked quite well.
And if you've ever had one of those holiday reps as well, I have to say Jason, the holiday rep, played by Mark Irvine, who also directed this as well. Jason was, I can see Jason in an episode of Benidorm. I could see him round the pool at the Solana.
You're right. In fact, he ought to be. In fact, he probably wished he was.
And of course, Mark, who played Jason, and of course directed the show as well. Mark and Brian Hazlitt, who played the character of Alan, of course, are also best known as the Gourmet Boys. Of course, our favourite Northern Ireland restaurant reviewers and food critics.
Yes, absolutely. They certainly are. So this was definitely a Gourmet Boys production.
It was good to see a different side of them, good to see them performing as well as actors. And you know, if there was a part that those guys were made for, it would be the two guys in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, spot on. That's a good call. Let's see it soon.
So if you missed Holiday Flush at the Sanctuary Theatre, don't worry, there's still time to see it. We'll tell you where in just a second. But I just want to mention the Sanctuary Theatre very quickly as well, because for those of you who haven't been, it's a fabulous little theatre over in East Belfast on Castlereagh Street. And Trevor and all the guys down there have done a fabulous job putting this theatre together. They're getting some well-deserved funding as well. They're putting on some great shows. And again, later on this month, we're going to see Ulster American.
By David Ireland, yes. I'm looking forward to that very much, with Caroline Curran, whom we like, in the cast. And I think that's going to be excellent. Yes, that'll be one to look out for.
Right, let's give our final decisions on the Rosemary Drama Group production of Holiday Flush. I think we've got to vote with the footballs. I couldn't find a cutout of Jerry Armstrong.
Oh, that's a shame.
So we'll just have to go with the footballs. So I thought there was some very funny moments in the show. For an amateur production, I thought it was off a very high standard as well. The nostalgia's great, and great to be taken back to the year 1982. So Jane, I'm going to start off by giving it 3 little footballs.
And so am I. I'm going to give it 3 little footballs. So there we are. We have equal scores.
There we go. So Holiday Flush is on the road as well. The guys are going to be in Portrush. And then they're at the fabulous Courtyard Theatre, a little theatre that I love, at Ballyearl as well. They're going to be there on the 23rd of August. So that is Holiday Flush. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you've seen anything in the theatre that you'd like to talk about, why not join us over on our social media pages, and we'll see you back in the stalls sometime very soon.
Bye-bye.